So hello everyone and welcome to the follow-up video to my previous one. What we are doing in previous video is the room which is Vulnversity, and I haven't show you the note taking process, how I used to take notes while I'm doing the boxes. So we will go through that in this video. So let's see. What I usually do is first I would like to take notes on Notion. This is the excellent and an incredible source that I usually use to take notes. So let me add the link to the page that we are going to take our notes. So this is the name of the room, that is Vulnerability. And I did something wrong here, not H1, this should be H2, and this will go under enumeration. So if you want to insert a heading, you can press forward slash and then start pressing H1 and then press enter to insert a heading 1. And what I want to call this is enumeration. So this is our enumeration phase where we are enumerating this box using this nmap tool, and this is the nmap result that I took previously from our last video. And you can see, uh, let me delete this and again add that code block, and let me tell you how I can do that, because I want to be as transparent as I can. So if you press backticks 3 times, it will insert a code block, and here you can insert your enumeration uh, output like this. This is what I want. So let's copy this. Control Shift C. If you want to copy anything from terminal, you should press Control Shift and C and then paste it here. And why I am inserting this content in a code block, because usually in these boxes we have to answer some of the questions like what is the HTTPD version that we are seeing in this box. So I can just highlight and copy this. It's better to take notes like this instead of making screenshots, so that you can copy the content from the code blocks. So I have inserted this thing. This is the output of nmap, and after that we ran our go buster to find the hidden directories. So let me add one more h2, remember, slash h2, and then press enter to insert a heading. So I want to call this go buster. If I can write go buster, and 3 backticks to insert a code block. So what we get from our row, not row, it's go, from go buster. This is the main thing that we get. So uh, there is nothing that we can copy from here, because this is a small string that we can usually type. Usually what I want to do here is take a screenshot of this tool, and how I do that, I usually use a tool that is flame shot. Let me show you how incredible this tool is. So what we are going to do is select the output that you want to insert, and then use this square button to highlight the main thing. Like in this, I have messed up something. Let me do it again, this time from here. So if we take a screenshot like this, and the interesting thing here is this path that is internal, you can make it red doing this, and just press Ctrl C and then go back to Notion and just press Ctrl V, and here is our screenshot. So what is the interesting thing here is slash internal. From internal, uh, what I did is again enumerate this internal path or endpoint to check what's inside internal, and from there what we got is our uploads directory or upload endpoint. So I'm going to cancel it by pressing Ctrl C, and again with flame shot we can take a good screenshot of this again. So keeping notes is a very good habit, and it will help you a lot when you are enumerating these boxes. Let me copy this and then paste it here. So after this enumeration, let me make another core block and insert here uploads. So this is the directory, and the full path become internal and uploads. And remember that we have uploaded the shell at this uploads functionality. And how we do that, let me do that again. So this is what we get, and let me take a screenshot of this too, which showing the path of the endpoint and the upload functionality. Let's copy this and paste it here, and this is where we are gonna upload our shell. And you know that where my shell is, it is in home, TryHackMe, Vulnversity, and then shell. Open. Let's upload this by clicking on the submit button. Let me go to that endpoint, and from there let me zoom out a little bit, take a screenshot of this too, so that you can see the URL and the shell that we have loaded here. Let me go to our section here and paste it here, and we are managed to upload the shell. And after that, what we did is, if you press Ctrl Shift T, it will add a new tab to your terminal. Let me amp up the text. Just press Ctrl and plus button to do this. And if you want to rename this tab, just press Alt Shift and S and start typing your name. I would like to name this terminal listener. So let me set up a listener here, usually by using Netcat lbnp, and I'm listening on 1337 port. Let me press enter, and here you can see it's listening on 1337, and if I click here on the shell, it will execute it on the backend and give us our shell. Now we can enumerate by using ls, but if you notice, I just I just supplied that command, which is ls, to list the directory listings. But if I use my up and down arrows, you can see this is not what I want. And what I'm gonna do is stabilize this shell, and this is optional. If you don't want to stabilize the shell, you can still go through all the directories that you want to go in this shell, but it's a good practice to stabilize the shell. This is an optional thing, but in CTFs, uh, the main thing is to capture the flag in less time. So you have to use these up and down arrows, up and down arrows to navigate the directory fast. So this is optional, but you can do that. And how we can stabilize this shell? So what we can do is export is equal to xterm python 3 dash c import pty pty dot spawn, and then bin bash, close the quotes and parentheses and inverted commas. Press enter, control Z to background the process, stdy raw minus echo slash fg, and then press reset. And here you can see I can run who am I and use my up and down arrow keys to navigate the previous command. So here our shell is stabilized. Now what we are finding here is, let me go back to the questions, what we have to find here. So where are we? We got our root shell, and then what is the user flag? So what is the user flag? Let's see how many users in this machine. For now that will be done by cat @c PASSWD password. And here you can see we have Ubuntu, this user systemd, no, bill. This must be interesting because it is in home directory, so maybe this is the user. Let me copy this and clear the screen and cd to that user. Let me ls, and here is our user text. Let me cat this user text, and this is our flag. Let me copy this flag and submit to this box. I haven't shown you that text, that user text previously, because I really want you to uh, enumerate this box on your own to go to that position of that machine. And here we can get our shell, and this is our user flag. Let me take a screenshot of this showing that we have the access and our user flag. So here we got the call back from our reverse shell, and this is the screenshot. And what is the user flag? This is this. Usually I put this in code block, three backticks, user dot text. And what's that? This. Let me save it. And after that, what our TryHackMe page tells us to privilege the privilege escalation. So here you can see we are doing privilege escalation through suite bit. This is the RWS, that is the suite bit. So how we can do that? So here we have bill user, and if you cd to home, and then root. You can see there is no such directory. Let me cd back, and uh, maybe we can enumerate this thing from this user, that is bill. So if you got a user, what are the steps that you can do after that? So what you have to do is you can check what this user can do in this machine, like the permissions of this user. And how we can do that? By using sudo dash l, not sudo, sudo dash l. And here we prompted for the password, and we don't have password. So how we can do that? By escalating our privileges. So we have to somehow find the permissions of this user, and maybe the hint of that is same on the system. Search for all suite files. So how we can search for suite files? So what we usually do is find in the root directory perm permission with 4000 and centered error forwarded to dev null, so that we don't see the trash, only the things that are relevant to us. So let's wait for this, and let me rename this to terminal. And here you can see we get our information using this command. So what are the steps from here? Let me first take the screenshot of this, and I can tell, because I already solved this room, this is our candidate to escalate our privileges. And let me tell you why. Let me answer the question. This is h1, and let me name this post exploitation, and h2 for escalating the privileges using the suite bit. So what we have done, we have run this command, find the suid permissions. What we use is find in the root directory perm with 4000 and forward the centered error to dev null, means nowhere. So this command we use to do this. And let me tell you how I said that systemctl is the candidate to escalate our privileges. So if you go to your own machine and type the same command, that is this, you can use your machine to tell you that what is normal and what is abnormal. So let's wait for this. and you won't see any file with systemctl. We have to wait for that, and you can see we have unmount, we have password. See, we have unmount, we have password, we have pk exec, but there is nothing with systemctl. So this is our potential attack vector. So what are our next steps from here is there is an incredible source that is gtfo bins, and here you can see how we can abuse this systemctl. If you search here systemctl, this is the first outcome, and what we want to do ourselves to escalate to sudo. So this is what we want. Let me copy this and then go back to our terminal. So here is our bill user, and usually what we do here is we are going to escalate our privileges to bin bash so that I can run bin bash as root by setting its suite bit. So if I can see right now ls-l on bin bash, we can see there is a read write execute, but we have to have here the s letter to set the suite bit to bin bash so that we can type bash dash p to escalate ourselves to not ourselves to escalate ourselves to not ourselves to escalate our bin bash to root. So what we are going to do here is we have to copy this and paste that here, control shift v. You can see we are not gonna do it right now, and let me tell you why. Let me paste it again and press enter. It said failed to link unit, and why is that? Here I want you to think. If you just copy something and directly paste on your terminal, it won't work, and that's why I want you to solve this room by your own, because I was stuck on that thing before. So let me go to our notes, and what we want to do is let me create a code block by backticks 3 times and paste it here. If you take a closer look, what these set of commands wants us the path to temp file, path to not path to it's path to temp file. So that is tmp, and same goes here, tmp /tmp, and same goes here, tmp. And then if you go to this, we have to specify which command we want to execute. We want to execute bash tag c, and in inverted commas we want to change our mode to suite bit, and uh, thing that we want its suite bit to be changed to suite bit, that is bin bash. Let me copy this and slap that in to there. Let me press enter. ls-l bin bash, and nothing goes wrong. Here you can see we can set our sweet bit to S. So now if we type bin, not bin, bash, bash dash p, we can escalate our privileges to root. You can see we are now root. Let me show you how. You can see that our effective user ID is root. So we can cat out the flag as root. Now ls, and here we are our user flag, that is user.text. I don't think that this is the user flag, this is the previous flag. Let me change the directory and go back one step, and one more time let me list the things, and we have to go to the root folder. Then this is the root.txt that we want. So here you can see we managed to change our privileges to root user. There, that you can see from here, effective user ID to root, and from there you can access the root files and root.txt. So this is the flag. Let me keep a note of that, root.txt, and Control Shift C. Remember, if anything you want to copy from terminal, you should press Shift, copy that. And let me grab a screenshot of that too. So what we did is bash dash p, and that will make us root. Let me put that here and mark that box done by answering the questions. It get logged out. Let me enter my password. On the system, search for all suite files. Which file stands out? So that is bin system ctl. What is the root flag? And that's the root flag. Let me paste that here. And mark this box done. So don't think that I am a very elite hacker. I just know these things because I usually solve these boxes in my free time, and day by day if you do that thing too, you can manage to learn these commands, or you can take good notes of these commands too. So I am missing one thing here. What we did after that is bash minus p, that will make us root. So you have to keep these notes, and you can see you can browse directly from here. What we have done is enumeration, and inside enumeration we did our nmap enumeration and that go buster, and then post exploitation using sweet bit. So I hope you like this video, and I strongly encourage you to go through these steps on your own. Just don't copy these flags and paste inside your box. And I know you think that I watched all the video, so I know what to do. But trust me, if you go through this box, specifically this box, you will have to suffer. Seriously, just think that you have to do it by your own, so that you can learn. Because you can learn by watching me, but you can learn even more if you do these things on your own, on your machine. So just boot up your machine and start hacking on this uh, room. So I hope you like this video, and if you really enjoy what we have done in this room, give a thumbs up to this video, and we will meet up in our next video. So stay safe and bye bye.